All right, guys, I'm back. It's the next day. I have my notes pulled up, and we're going to jump right into this. We're going to talk about wind and scent. All right, so I've got a diagram over here. I've got my notes over here, so you're going to see me looking back and forth, trying to keep on track here. As you can see on this diagram, pay attention. The wind is coming from right to left. The deer are to the left, and the stand location is further to the left. So if we want to talk about cardinal direction, that would be wind is blowing from east to west. The deer are at the edge of the field on that west side of the field, right up there in the corner, which is a good place to. It's like a staging area for deer. That's what a good buddy of mine taught me. And that that stand is just a little bit deeper into the woods, so that instead of blowing the scent from the stand to where the deer are, the deer scent is getting blown to the stand. You want the wind in your face. That's a generally good idea. Anyway, pay attention to this diagram as I talk about wind and scent, because it might help things make a little bit more sense. Always, when you're hunting, you want to pay attention to the wind direction. If the wind is blowing away from the deer and towards you, that is a good thing. If the wind is blowing away from you towards the deer, that is a bad thing. You can use all sorts of things to check the wind. Some guys will get a little thing of powder they squeeze. Some people will pick up some dirt and drop it and see which way the dirt falls. You know, a leaf. There's all sorts of ways to check which way the wind is blowing, but you need to keep a good idea of how the wind is at all times when you're hunting. If you play the wind, your success will probably be a lot higher. If you don't play the wind, you better have very good scent control or other measures in place to get those deer close to you without spooking. So here's the scent control aspect of this. If you wash your hunting clothes with, let's say it's Tide or Gain or some other scented detergent, you're going to smell like clean clothes. Those scents aren't necessarily natural in the woods. And you might get away with hunting with clothes that have just been washed regularly. But if you want to optimize your scent control, you want to use a scent-free detergent. I also recommend getting some sort of scent eliminator spray to spray on your clothing, your boots, and your hat. And I would also think about spraying it on your equipment as well. They also make soap, scent-free soap, to eliminate that body odor as well. So if you want to go whole hog on this thing and really play the wind and scent game to the best of your ability, that's what I would tell you. Keep the wind going from the deer to you, and take every measure you can to eliminate your scent. Okay, so right here, I don't know if, to the layman, you might just see some barren land and some woods. A hunter, when he looks at this, probably understands that barren land is a food plot, and those woods provide cover, shelter, bedding areas for the deer. Also, more food in the woods as well. So as you're looking at this, you want to take into account the wind direction and your location to the food plot. All right, so finding it in my notes here. Basically, you want to hunt downwind from the food plot, so the wind is blowing from the food plot to you. Deer like to move with the wind in their face, so that'll happen from time to time. But if you do this correctly and you follow basically this little picture here that I've got pulled up, put your stand deep in the woods, not too deep, right? But giving the deer enough room to stage and move out to that food plot somewhere near a corner. You're going to play that wind correctly. And again, hunting, dawn, dusk, those are the times that you're going to be most successful with this, but it doesn't mean that a daytime hunt couldn't yield great results. All right. Another thing is when you're tracking, when you're scouting, when you're blood trailing, you should also take into account those scent control measures and the wind. It is not just for choosing a location to hunt. It is also for while you're moving. So if you're moving, try to keep that wind in your face as much as possible. Move very slowly. Try not to move so fast that you're pouring in sweat. If you're hunting in the south where it gets really hot, there's probably not much you can do other than take those scent control measures that I outlined before. Again, make sure you're spraying down those boots if you're moving a lot, because you do not want to be leaving your scent all over the woods. Yeah, so that's the down and dirty on wind and scent.